At the end of the day, our body is a machine, and we are beginning to discover why we age. How do you slow it down? How do you stop it? Maybe how do you reverse it?
How important is love, purpose, and inner peace in extending our lifespan?
Yeah, I think they're extraordinary. I think mindset, I talk about food, exercise, sleep, and then mindset is fundamental. I think love and companionship and purpose, you've all heard the stories of, the couple that is deeply in love and one dies and the one dies shortly thereafter, right? I mean, I think you can will yourself to death. And of course, our founding fathers, this country, I forget which two of them, died within hours of the 50th anniversary of the founding of the country.
Wow.
Right? They want I'm going to make it to that point. I'm going to make it there, right? And so having a purpose, and this is something that is really deeply meaningful for me right now. And I'm spending a lot of time on this. I had an experience, I co-founded something called Singularity University with Ray Kurzweil. And did that now almost 15 years ago. And we have executive programs and graduate programs, and Abundance 360, my program, is the year-round highest level version of Singularity University. And the graduate programs, we'd get 100 graduate students from around the world, top of their class, the best in AI and robotics and medicine, whatever it might be. And I remember every year I would ask a question: how many of you are clear about your purpose in life? And shockingly,
not many would respond.
Less than half the class. And I expected 90% there, right? And it
These are the brightest of the bright.
Yeah. And they're just, from the top universities and entrepreneurs. And so it would be like 40% would raise their hand. And I'm like, holy shit. Listen, for everybody who doesn't know, your mission in this program is to find your passion and purpose. That's all. I don't care what you build as a company. Find your passion and purpose, because it drives everything. It's a great Mark Twain quote. He says, there are two important days in your life: the day you were born and the day you found out why. And so I'm on a mission right now to help people find their passion and purpose. And so I just launched, it's a free 30-day program called Mindset Bootcamp. And if you go to diamandis.com/mindset, you sign up. It's a 30-day sequence of emails that will hopefully change the way you see your life and your world, and help you find your passion, find your purpose, but then give you insights into the mindsets that will enable you to fulfill your passion and your purpose.
What happens if we don't find our passion or our purpose?
I think you're on a meandering walk, and you can still enjoy yourself, but I think it's really at the end of your life, looking back. And by the way, your passion, your purpose can be your family. And that can be just 100%, and it can be fulfilling in that. It can be, to go and open the space frontier. It can be to go right a wrong. It's like, a lot of this, and I talk about this in the Mindset Bootcamp, a lot of this comes from emotional energy. We're emotional beings.
Yes.
Right? We need that emotional energy to do anything big and bold in the world. And that emotional energy can come from awe and excitement. So for me, I was born in the 60s, and it was the Apollo program and Star Trek, right? Apollo showed me, what we could do. And Star Trek was that visionary documentary that showed us where we were going. And that lit me on fire, and everything I've ever done is a result of that passion, that purpose. And that's a positive passion and purpose. People who've been wronged in their life, whatever it might have been, it's like, I refuse to let that happen again. I will not let that happen to another person. And that can fuel your passion and purpose.
Right.
And I think it just makes every day more meaningful. It's like waking up in the morning and moving the needle, making a dent in the universe. And here's the important thing for folks who have not found their passion and purpose. It's easier than ever before. The tools you have to do something big and bold in the world are greater than any time ever in human history. Access to more capital, more knowledge, more compute, more connected people on the planet. And so I don't care if you're 80 years old beginning your journey, or if you're 8. It's like finding a purpose-driven life, I think, is a really important element. So, you know, my boot camp is part of that equation. And then for me, it's really helping people find the mindset. So I deal a lot with entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And one of my favorite questions for them is, okay, give me your favorite entrepreneurs. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, you know, whatever your list is. Or your favorite leaders on the planet, Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, whatever it is. And I said to you, what made them succeed? Was it the cash they had in the bank? Was it the technology they had access to, or was it their mindset? And I think, I know you'd agree. Yeah, mindset's everything, right? And so, whether it's the greatness mindset, gratitude mindset, abundance, exponential, longevity, moonshot mindset. Because if you took away their money and you took away their relationships and you took away their technology, if they maintained their mindset, they get back a lot of what they lost. Maybe they'd go even further. And so if that's true, what mindset do you have? You know, I ask them, what mindset do you have? And where did you get it from? Did you just like happen to inherit it? Did you get it from your mom, your dad, your school, your brother, your sister? Where was it? And I think that we should be more actively choosing the mindset we desire and then shaping the mindset. So, I mean, we both are knowledgeable about, you know, AI and machine learning, that it's really incredibly, it's rising monumentally. And when you think about machine learning, what machine learning is as a form, one of the areas of AI, is you're showing a computer neural net image after image after image, data point after data point after data point, and you're training that neural net to recognize cats or dogs or the English language, whatever the case might be. Our brains are neural nets. And what we see, what we listen to, who we hang out with, all of that is training our neural net. So like I like to say, if you're watching CNN for 2 or 3 hours a day, and I call CNN the crisis news network, or the constantly negative news network, you're gonna feel like you're under attack, like the world is ending, and your mindset's gonna be a very negative mindset.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, it's like, don't do that. Just
Turn
don't.
it off. Yeah.
I mean, and so I'm on, you know, I haven't watched any network news. I will get up in the morning, I'll do 2 things. I will spend about 10 minutes on Google News, right? And just look at what's going on
headlines,
to make sure there's nothing in the world I need to know about. Also, my mom will call me and tell me this thing I need to know about. And the other is I built an engine called FutureScope. And you might actually like this. So FutureScope as an engine allows you to build customized news feeds for yourself.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I built 2. One's called Future Loop. And so what I did was I gave FutureScope, the AI engine there, all of my blogs, my books, my Twitter stream, and it modeled the way I think. And then it searches the world's news every day and brings the news to me that has positive semantic, about converging exponentials impacting the industries I'm interested in. So if you go to futureloop.com, you'll get 15 articles every day selected by Virtual Peter on longevity, on space, on reinventing transportation, reinventing health, reinventing retail. And I use GPT-3, which is one of the AI engines out of OpenAI. And it's like, this is the news I care about. This is the stuff in the world that I want shaping my neural net.
Sure.
And then I created another one called longevityinsider.org.
Okay.
And I love it. Longevityinsider.org. It scrapes everything on Twitter, all the science journals, all the news journals. And I get 15 updates every day on breakthroughs in longevity and vitality and health. And the engine picks the photo, the AI engine picks a photo, and it writes a very understandable summary of the article. So you don't need to have any medical background. It's like, oh, that's fascinating. And for me, that's part of our longevity mindset. If you believe that you have the potential to add 30 healthy years on your life, you're going to treat your life much differently than if you don't.
Yeah.
If you think, you're going to be dead at 70, 75, you're going to give up on life. If you think you've got an extra, you're doing 120 in a healthy way, then you're going to be, looking at starting your next company, getting your next boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever the case might be.
If someone is stuck in a negative mindset, but they want to lean more into a purpose-driven mindset, what are some of the steps they can take? Because this is a conditioning that some people have for decades.
It is. And you can, the beautiful thing about the human brain is it's plastic. In the term of plasticity, it's changeable. And you just need to do that rewiring. And there are a number of different things you can do. It's, what are you reading?
Yeah.
What are you watching? Who are you hanging out with? Right? I mean, just think about it for yourself. Would you rather hang out with someone who is like a positive mindset, there's no problem I can't fix, or someone who's reading the obituaries and just like, it's not to say that there are times in our life when there's something going on in the world that we need to pay attention to because we have the ability to make a difference. But I don't need to be bombarded by it every day.
Right.
Because it doesn't make me a happier person or a more active person. I think it's, again, what are you letting in? What posters are on your wall? I'll never forget when I was in medical school. I was starting my first university called the International Space University. My co-founder, Todd Hawley, I think as a joke and really just to goad me, put on his wall Murphy's Law, which is if anything can go wrong, it will. Right?
Things start going wrong.
It's like just really offensive. And so I had a whiteboard behind me. I went to my whiteboard and I wrote, if anything can go wrong, fix it, to hell with Murphy. And I wrote Peter's Law over it. And then I have Google Peter's Laws, there are like 32 of them now. When given a choice, take both, start at the top and work your way up. Do it by the book, but be the author.
That's cool.
The best way to predict the future is create it yourself. And the truisms that I live my life by. So what's on your walls, right? Who are your most positive-minded, optimistic friends? Spend more time with them. If you want to get thin or in good shape, hang out with people who are thin and in good shape. I mean, these are just fundamentals. If you're seeking power, I think it's empty unless it's in service of something. So what's your fundamental objective? Is it creating, feeding everybody healthcare, energy, clean water? What are you going to use your power for? Getting power for the sake of power is empty and meaningless, and I think it makes for a very empty life.